Welcome to Ramadan Prayers. I'm Nakia, and with me are Alicia, Layla, and Zoha. Ramadan happens once a year, and the dates change according to the lunar calendar. Fasting during Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The 5 pillars of Islam refer to the most important practices for Muslims. Ramadan is a time to reflect on our lives and how we take so much for granted. Out in the world, there are many, many people without homes or even food. And during Ramadan, we remember our privilege. Alicia will tell you more about this practice of remembering our wealth and helping those who are without. Ramadan is a very spiritual time. We devote more of our spare time to praying. For example, during Ramadan, there is a day called al-Fitr, also known as the Night of Power. Although we can't celebrate together during this time, on May 4th this year, I was able to get on a Zoom with family and friends to pray together. We prayed for around an hour and 30 minutes on that Zoom. Many of us spend time praying on our own with family or on Zooms with other Muslims. There are 5 times for praying during the day. There are Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. We also make a point of going to mosque more often. During the month of Ramadan, before COVID, Layla's family goes to mosque at least 3 times a week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Alicia's family normally goes to mosque on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. My family tries to go every Saturday. Following Ramadan is a day called Eid, a day to celebrate. It's a big party, and Zoha will be telling you more about that. People who are not Muslims may still not understand what happens during Ramadan, so we'll be sharing a bit more with you now. I'll pass it over to Alicia.
My name's Alicia, and today I'm going to be covering why we fast and why we do charity in the month of Ramadan. You may or may not have heard of the term fast, which means to not eat or drink anything for a certain amount of time. Muslims fast during Ramadan. We fast for many different reasons, one of which is to reflect on our lives and notice that others do not have as much as us, and that we are very lucky to have food every day. Another aspect of fasting is discipline. We learn discipline through fasting because we have to wait and ignore temptations to eat. Fasting gives us time to also recognize how much of our life revolves around food and drink. During Ramadan, another thing we practice is charity, giving money to people who need it. We call this zakat. People in Islam do a lot of charity year-round, but in Ramadan it's especially important because Ramadan is all about generosity and gratitude. My family does charity year-round and does even more than Ramadan.
During the month of Ramadan, fasting is what is well known. Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset without any food or drinks, including water. Fasting is a very important part of Ramadan, and a lot of people will say that fasting might be hard because you can't have food or drinks. Because many people have not fasted, I want to describe to you what it is like. As a kid, fasting is harder because you're not used to it, and as you become older, it gets easier. When I fast the first few days of Ramadan, it's really hard for me. Remembering that you can't eat or drink anything sometimes slips your mind for a second. Not being able to eat and drink is not the only thing that's hard. Waking up at 4 in the morning is tiring. When I wake up to eat at 4 in the morning, I'm really tired, and all I want to do is go back to sleep, but I can't because I know I'm going to be hungry, and this is my last meal for a while. After I eat and pray, I go back to sleep, but it takes time. Knowing that I only have a few hours left to sleep before I have school sometimes makes me think that I won't ever fall asleep, but eventually I do. Ramadan may seem like a very hard month, but it is also fun. It's nice to be fasting with your family every day and knowing that everyone is fasting, and if you feel hungry, you can talk to someone and they'll help you. It's also fun to stay up late and eat dinner with your family and talk and have a good time together. Towards the end of the month, I get really excited for Eid. Zoha will talk more about that.
Towards the end of Ramadan, Muslims get ready for Eid al-Fitr. This celebration is the first day of the Islamic lunar month Shawwal. Eid al-Fitr means the festival of breaking fast. On this great day, the month of Ramadan is over and you no longer have to fast. Many Muslims all around the world cherish this holiday. Eid al-Fitr is not the only Muslim holiday with the word Eid in it. There is also Eid al-Adha, but they are both completely different. There are many ways Muslims celebrate Eid al-Fitr. One of the things Muslims do to celebrate is go in community prayers for a mosque. Usually, my family gets together and dresses in traditional clothing. In these clothes, we go to the mosque and pray namaz. You do not have to go to the mosque for all 5 namazes, but for one is also okay. Praying is very important on Eid because it is an extremely religious day. A second way Muslims cherish this holiday is eating big meals and feasts with your extended family. There are many foods eaten on this day, like daimbale, biryani, nihari, halim, kebabs, samosas, burfi, halwa puri, and much more. My personal favorite food eaten on this day is golgappe, and my favorite dessert is jalebi. Jalebi is a sweet dessert fried in oil with a gooey inside. They are shaped like pretzels and are a very vibrant orange color. Golgappe are these sphere chips with a hollow inside that you fill things with. A couple more things we do on Eid is dress in traditional clothing the whole day. I had already mentioned this, but as soon as you wake up in the morning, you wear your Eid clothes. My favorite part about Eid is the gifts and money given to the children from the adults. Another one of my favorite parts of Eid is that I don't have to go to school that day, so we spend the whole day with food and family. During COVID-19, Eid is a little harder to celebrate, but you can always go on a Zoom with your family to celebrate it. Eid al-Fitr is my favorite holiday. There are so many joys and happy things going on Eid. After the long and hard month of fasting, after Eid, everything goes back to normal. Ramadan is an important celebration. A challenging one, but it is worth it in the end. On behalf of Alicia, Nakia, Layla, and myself, thank you for listening to us share about this important part of our lives. We hope you've all learned something about Ramadan and Eid.